Do you even realize what you just did?
No.
We're being led by stupid people.
If nothing else, this does show that disconnect between often actor, actress, even, you know, with some of the like directors, the disconnect between them and their audience and the type of content it is they produce. Now, I will say that there are positives that have come out of this. Okay. That is that you know who you're dealing with. And I think, yeah, some people will take that to mean that, well, you expect or anticipate that the content that you consume, that individual has to, or that's part of it, whether they worked on it, whether they own it, has to fit your political or social views top to bottom. No, I'm not saying that, and I'm not sure there are that many people that believe that, look, you need to be sort of a reflection of their individual views. But you have to be aware enough to understand what your target audience has been. And Alan Ritchson in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare he's had some interesting things to say. Let's go ahead and pull some of those up. Breitbart's covered it. You know, he had that deal about, we talked about Trump. He talked about, again, I always think it's so hilarious watching these actors kind of be part of a project, and obviously whether it be Reacher or whether it's some of the other like the audience may trend one way on the more social and cultural, less political, more social and cultural perspective. And then that core audience that was baked in, that was willing to go support your work, you basically told them to go screw themselves.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
Now, I'm not saying that that this opening for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is solely his fault. And I would love to know what you guys think about that. But does it have something to do with it that he recently had a string of those comments that I just referenced? And now, as documented right here, it debuted $9 million. That was it. $9 million was all they made. That's about what we've made with the Rippaverse in its entirety. But based on a true story, Lionsgate's release, which also reportedly cost $60 million to produce. As Henry Cavill leads a World War II mission on the coast of West Africa, yada, yada, yada. The Ritchie has been behind numerous box office hits, including the live-action Aladdin. It looks like what they're essentially saying that it's not doing that well. However, maybe this is important, audiences are liking it. So that's what they're saying. I can't speak to that, but they're saying that audiences like it. The film has earned an A- through CinemaScore. Now, whether that's with critics, whether that's with just regular moviegoers, not sure. But I think that this is probably the most important thing about the future of entertainment. And I'll go to me real quick. That pretty much every individual is going to have to consider, especially if you are owner of a business or you are, let's say, a lead in any project. It's not necessarily that they are a reflection of you, like your employees or nothing, but you have to go into it. I mean, and it's a must because people are going to be rightfully, because they've been burned so many times, they've been burned. So, okay. So for them to have reservations with what they support is totally understandable. I get it. And I think that's where the leaders kind of have to come. You got to now have a set of sort of ethics, that there's a set of expectations that the people that are working under you, working for a project that you're funding, whether for a project that's under your property or under your business, have to be on the same page. It's like, okay, this is where we're at. This is our target audience. These are the types of guys that we can't go tell them to screw themselves. It's not going to work out. Now, often when you don't have much skin in the game, you're just a contractor, which a lot of actors are. And yeah, I work with contractors for sure, but you want to the best of your ability. It's not entirely possible to, be on the same page with everybody that you work with. And some people are going to go rogue, right? It happens. But at bare minimum, I do think a lot of this starts at the top, and you have to set the tone, and everybody else will follow. That's leadership, is it not? So when I see people go off like this, especially like stars, so you got top names that are tied to a project, and then they go on a tangent that really spits in the face of the people that have largely been the supporters of themselves. It shows me, one, they don't have any skin in the game, or they're just naive. So if I wanted to play the ignorant card to give them some benefit of the doubt, which maybe they aren't owed, let's say that that's maybe a possibility, that the person is just, Richmond is just, he's just so, he's oblivious. That a lot of people were flocking to, that were flocking to a lot of the films and shows that he was rocking with, tend to lean or be slanted culturally in a certain way. And so he was just so naive that he thought spitting in their face, he didn't know that they were spitting in his face. I have a hard time believing it, but let's just say that that's maybe a possibility. That comes from the top down, and you got to set the tone. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of folks that, hey, I got my money. Why do I give a shit about your target audience? And they'll bite you in the ass. Thanks for watching. Right now, the Rippaverse is in the middle of our latest campaign, Yaira #1, which was written by the Saskas. Head over to Rippaverse.com, pre-order, and check out our first live-action trailer and the latest Rippaverse Studios production, Y'all Be Easy.